want to talk today about my process, and I put out a video a couple of days ago about the evolution of my intuitive, psychic, and channeling abilities, and I wanted to talk with you about what my process is as far as getting into a state of consciousness to be able to tap in to higher consciousness, my higher consciousness, the higher consciousness of someone else, spirit, etc. It looks a little bit different depending on what I'm doing, whether I'm just tapping in to find out if there's any messaging for someone around a certain topic, whether they've texted me or what have you, or if I'm doing an actual Reiki session. First of all, the brain waves that we are in typically, like right now, conscious thought, alert, problem solving, that sort of thing, is the beta waves. Then the alpha waves are when you're in a relaxed state. Theta waves are when you are in a state of being where you are able to tap in to other consciousness. And delta waves are when you're in a deep sleep, which you can also connect and have psychic experiences, astral travel, all kinds of amazing things can happen when you're in delta. It's a good idea, and you don't always have to. It's not always the case for me. A lot of times I'll get messaging when I'm in my regular mind frame. However, usually I'm consciously putting myself in a state of alpha or theta brainwaves. And to do that, breathing techniques are the easiest way. And I recommend box breathing just because it's super simple and it's easy to do, which is just 4 in, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So you're inhaling for 4, you're holding your breath for 4, you're exhaling for 4, and you're holding for 4. And so if you think of each one of those 4s as a part of a box, that's why it's called box breathing. Using that type of a technique is an easy way to relax yourself enough to be able to tap into other consciousness. That is my easiest tip for getting into a state of mind where you can allow to connect with spirit. If I'm in a Reiki session, sound therapy is one of the things that I use to get myself into this state, along with my breathing technique. That is a really easy way for me to alter my state of consciousness, decrease my brain waves to the theta brainwave state. And so, depending on whether you're doing a session with someone or if you are just wanting to tap into your own higher consciousness, your higher self, it depends on kind of how you set these things up. At the very beginning of every day, I'm clearing the energy of the space that I'm in, my energy. Clearing can be done in a million different ways. I open the windows whenever I can. I use Palo Santo, that's my favorite, to smudge with. I use Reiki symbols. I pray. You can rattle. You can use clearing sprays. You can just set an intention. Really, the sky's the limit when it comes to clearing, but just making sure that you're doing it is super important. And then I will go back to asking Archangel Michael every morning to create a shield of protection around you, and to fill that shield of protection with source energy, divine light, God, whatever you want to call it, and then you are protected throughout your day. My process is I do a breathing technique. I obviously have an intention that I'm going to be, connecting with either my higher consciousness or whomever I'm working with. And so I have that person in my mind's eye as the intention to connect with their higher self, their spirit guides, etc. And so I do the breathing technique. I set my intention, and then I ask for Archangel Michael to come in, put a shield of protection around myself, the other person, so that our energy is separate, remains separate. We're not affecting each other's energy necessarily. Anything that you can do to protect your own energy when you're an empath is the best idea. So the more the better is how I feel about it. And then I ask for a portal to be opened, and I ask for only the highest frequencies of energies to come through. High energy entities, high energy frequencies, vibrations, etc. Then I ask to remain invisible from all lower vibrations, low frequencies. And then you are kind of set up, right? And so then it's just up to spirit to come through, or your higher consciousness, the higher consciousness of whomever you're working with. Whatever your intention is, you're just opening yourself up by opening a portal. It's all about intentions. Really important is to make sure that you are closing the portal at the end of this segment. So whether it's, for example, before I do Reiki sessions in the morning, I always do this routine so that I am connecting with the other person's energy, their spirit guides, etc., so that I start that flow of energy early on, so that it's easier when they arrive for me to get into that mindset, easier for me to connect and deliver messages. I don't have to spend a bunch of time kind of ramping up. I always make sure that I'm closing that portal at the end of every session, at the end of every segment, at the end of every, dealing with one person or one energy. I'm closing that portal to make sure that I'm not just randomly allowing spirit to be able to connect all day, because then it's like a moth to a flame, right? When you open yourself up to the light to allow frequency through, then you're letting everything in. And so you have to be very intentional about setting boundaries with that, and making yourself invisible to lower vibrations and frequencies, but also closing that portal. Clearing is super important. I'm clearing after every encounter. So whether it be a psychic session, whether it be a Reiki session, a coaching session, I'm clearing and disconnecting myself energetically from the person that I was just working with and any energies that might have come through. And this allows me to keep my energy intact throughout the day, and it allows everyone to be able to come into a clear space so that they're not feeling the energy of the person who was just in the room or the spirits that were just involved in the session. When you are finishing a session or an encounter with someone, you want to make sure that you're disconnecting yourself energetically from that person and the energies that were involved. And so you can visualize snipping those cords of energy with scissors, using Reiki knife, selenite knife. Visualization is the easiest way, and that's what I always teach people right out of the gate, just because you can definitely imagine pulling a plug out of an outlet, right? Just pretending like that cord is now severed, right? So any of those types of techniques are very helpful. I hope that this gives you a good idea, a good foundation for those of you who are just maybe starting or are looking for easier ways to be able to develop your psychic and intuitive abilities and connect with other energies. I hope that this gives you a brief and simple technique to be able to start practicing this. If you have questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I love reading your comments. I love starting a dialogue about this subject. And please subscribe to my channel. I've got this Heather Headley, the Psychic channel, and I also have Heather Headley Look Within coaching. Please subscribe to them. Please like my videos and share them with anyone you feel would benefit. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Please click subscribe and share my video with anyone that you feel might benefit from it. Thank you so much for watching.